Events that marked the year 2019. Protests, violence, political crises, terror attacks, epidemics and natural disasters. Hate, blood, anger and chaos. The world has always been the hell of innocent and weak people. Okay, let's start. On March 15, Australian terrorists Brenton Tarrant attacked the Noor and Linwood mosques in Christchurch, New Zealand. 51 people were killed, 49 people were injured in the terrorist attack. The first quarter of the year was marked. In Mexico, near the town of Tlahuelilpan, 100 kilometers north of the capital, Mexico, an explosion erupted on January 19 as a spillover of oil spilled from the pipeline. In the explosion, 114 people were killed in the vicinity to fill the canisters with fuel leaking from the pipeline. Indian Air Force fighters violated Pakistan airspace at the end of February. An Indian Air Force fighter crashed on February 27 in the Bugaum area of Jammu Kashmir. Pakistan and India mutually shut down airports in several cities and shut down civilian flights after the warplanes were dropped. Pakistan airspace was closed due to mutual air operations between India and Pakistan and opened completely on March 8. Ethiopian Airlines crashed during a flight to Nairobi, Kenya's capital on March 10. The state-owned broadcaster EBC announced that there were no 157 survivors on board. After the accident, many countries announced that the entry and exit of Boeing 737 MAX 8 type aircraft was suspended. Venezuelan National Assembly Speaker Juan Guaido declared himself temporary president in anti-government demonstrations in the country on January 23. The agreement between U.S. President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un in the second summit on February 28 in Vietnam's capital Hanoi could not be reached. On the Easter day in Sri Lanka, the terrorist attacks, the Assad regime in Syria, Idlib tension reduction zone within the borders of the attacks and the mass protests in China's Hong Kong Special Administrative Region. During the Holy Easter ritual for Christians on April 21 in Sri Lanka, St. Anthony's in Kaitana, the churches of the Virgin Mary in Sebastian and Batticaloa and the 5-star Shangri-La, Cinnamon Grand and Kingsbury hotels in the capital Colombo were bombed. Following these attacks, there were explosions near the guest house in Dihuela, the suburb of the capital Colombo, and near the overpass in Dimatagoda. The terrorist organization ISID claimed responsibility for the attacks, which killed more than 253 people and injured more than 500 people. In Syria, the Assad regime's Idlib tension reduction zone within the borders of the settlements and the Israeli army in Gaza under the blockade, causing civilian casualties. Attacks in the world took an important place. UK Prime Minister Theresa May resigns because of Brexit deadlock. Egypt's first democratically elected president Mohamed Morsi died in the courtroom, and tensions between the US and Iran around the Gulf of Oman and the Strait of Hormuz were among the main topics of the international agenda. China's Hong Kong's Special Administrative Region in early June to facilitate the extradition of criminals to China, organized against large-scale protests. The end of the year will continue until the end of the wave of protests ignited the week. The protest against the administration in the Special Administrative Region of Hong Kong, China's invasion of the airport, the armed UAV attack against Saudi Arabia's national oil company Aramco, the demonstration against President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi for the first time in Egypt, the Spanish NGO Open Arms, the fact that 123 irregular migrants rescued in the Mediterranean was not requested by the European Union, EU, countries was the most remarkable political events during this period. In the same period, floods and landslides caused by extreme rainfall in Southeast Asia, more than 72,000 fires in the Amazon region of Brazil, the Hurricane Dorian that hit the Bahamas, extreme temperatures recorded especially in July, Ebola, which completed 1 year in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Southeast Asia outbreaks of dengue fever in countries caused concern in the world. The protests that started in protest against unemployment, corruption and lack of public service in Iraq killed at least 450 people. 23 people were killed in violent incidents following the Bolivian presidential elections. The 2019 Nobel Prize for Literature was given to Peter Handke, the author of The Denial of the Genocide in 1995 in Srebrenica, Bosnia and Herzegovina, which drew great reaction. While the Sarajevo Canton and Kosovo declared Handke undesirable, Gun-Britt Sundström, a member of the Nobel Committee of the Royal Swedish Academy, which identified the winners of the Nobel Prizes, resigned in response to Handke's award. ISIS leader Baghdadi is dead. I wish a world away from chaos. We have to work for new generations. Because the world entrusted us with them. Thanks for watching. 7 Piece Story.